Good morning. We're going to get started in just about a minute. Morning, Brendan.
Hey, good morning. How's it going?
Good. Hey, I got a little front material and then I'll turn it over to you.
I love it. Thank you.
Morning, Joan.
Good morning. How are you?
Super. How are you?
Good.
Marielle, are you a co-host?
No.
Okay, let me figure out how to do that. Just keep an eye on the waiting room. Okay. Joan, can you see my screen?
I can see you.
You can
Oh,
see-
I can see the lift. Yeah.
You can see that. Okay, good. We're ready to go. Let's, good morning, everybody. Welcome to our team meeting for October 14. We're going to start with some good news. Who's got good news to share? And don't be shy or we'll call on you, Rebecca Fishkin. Who's got good news to share? Come on.
Well,
Joan, you go.
I can't go to the meeting after this because I'm writing up a purchase contract.
Nice. Love it. That's awesome. Other good news. Other good news. Sarah Becker, how about you?
Oh, shit.
That
Where
was
did it
not
go?
me, by the way.
Yeah.
Well, we are gonna have a
I
profitable
don't even know how
time.
to use this. This might be an Apple. Does anybody can
hold
use an
on.
Apple?
Hey, and we can hear you.
There you go.
Sarah, go for it.
We've got 3 people capping this month.
Oh, nice. I love it. That's great news. All right. We'll go with those. Hey, we've got a couple announcements I want to share. There is a team meeting after this in the Granby location. You are probably there if you know about that already. And Mountain Properties is doing their new start time in-person meeting after this as well. So if you need to get in your car, put us on Zoom, that's fine too. Fast Track Coaching continues. On Wednesdays, it's on taking more listings. On Thursdays, it's on converting sellers to closings. So jump in on those if you'd like. Our October regional rally is Monday, and we're going to be talking to a top agent panel about business planning and the importance of getting your business planning done in October and jumping on that. That is in preparation for the business planning clinic, which is from 9 to 2 in Denver with Leslie Peters. Leslie is a top agent. She's part of the Gary Keller top agent mastermind. She and her husband Andy are out of Georgia. They live in Savannah area and have KW offices all throughout Georgia and in the Carolinas. This is going to be a really good business planning clinic. On the 28th, Savannah Campbell is going to be teaching in Frisco, Quantum Leap. And Savannah is our, I think I saw her on here a minute ago. Savannah is our regional rep for KW Next Gen. Sorry for getting the names. KW Next Gen. So you'll want to hit that if you're interested in getting Quantum Leap. Couple other save the dates. ALC Clinic is on the 19th of November. Our holiday party for Top of the Rockies is December 3, and more details and location coming soon. And KW Mountain Properties party is December 4. I wanted to spend a couple minutes today talking about the untapped potential of our listing inventory. And I'm going to take the screen for a second. Can you all see this whiteboard behind me? Joan, can you see it?
Yes.
So I did a little bit of research in looking at our numbers as market centers over the last 9 months. And I want you to think about this, and you might grab a pen or pencil and write some of this down. I'm going to do some Vail numbers on the left and some top of the Rockies numbers on the right. Our average GCI, the money that you make when you close a deal in Vail, average $23,372. And top of the Rockies, similar number, $20,836. Big GCI numbers, average, right, Brendan? Brendan's nodding, and great numbers. Now here's some more research that I did. Vail, we've taken 108 listings this year, and we have sold 62.
Everybody here okay?
Yeah.
Marielle, please keep an eye on the mute button, okay?
Yeah, I am.
We have taken 108, we have sold 62, which folks means we have not sold 46 listings so far in 2025. The story is very similar in Summit. We've taken 243. We have sold 122, which means we have not sold 121 listings. Do you all see where I'm going with this? What would happen under the topic of the untapped potential of your listings if we pulled the GCI from these 46 listings and these 121 listings? Now, we know that if the Vail team goes to their listings, we're not going to get all of them to reduce their prices, right? But we would all agree, I think, that usually the reason a listing's not selling is because of pricing. What if we got half? What if we got half of the 46 listings to reduce? That would get us 23 remarketed listings, better prices, more accurate to what the market's saying, 23 better opportunities. And on the top of the Rockies side, 50% off of that 121 is 60 listings with price reductions. Now, not all those listings are going to sell, but by dropping the price, we open a new market and we get much closer. What if only 80% of the 23 sold, or 18? What if only 80% or 48 of the 60 sold? If we go back to our average GCI, a price reduction strategy on our untapped listings for Vail brings in $420,000 of GCI.
Good.
That is good, Joan. Thank you. And if you do the math for Summit, it's even more remarkable. It's $1,128,000.
Better.
It is better. I'll take either number, Joan. But the point that I'm trying to make, folks, is when was the last time you looked at your aging inventory and had a serious conversation, first with yourself and then with your clients, about the importance of being realistic with the market and moving the price more in line with reality? Because Christmas is coming and Hanukkah is coming, and we all would love to have a little bit more money in our pockets at the end of Q4 than we do right now. So keep that in mind. I want to encourage you to go to your team leaders and talk to them about what we can do to untap the potential of our listing inventory so that we all make a little bit more money this quarter. Okay, we want to do some recognition. September top properties for the Summit. Dots had her first listing closed with KW at 1.64 million. Congrats, Dots. The Thompson Group had a top closing at 2.4 million on Elk Ridge Court in Estes, and Dan Derman top listing taken 2.6 million. Great job, Summit agents. Vail agents. Steve had his first closing with KW on Mill Road, 697,000. Great job. The Gold Team top closing at 2.5 for September, and Brooke closed a 3.7, or excuse me, listed a 3.7 on 61 New York Mountain Road. That seems like a typo, but maybe I got that wrong. Good job, Steve, Gold Team, and Brooke. I want to turn it over to Brendan. We asked him to be our guest today, and Brendan, everyone I think here knows who you are. Take it away.
Thanks. Well, I appreciate it. I don't know if everyone knows who I am, but that's
We
kind.
told them who you are.
Oh, good, good. That makes it faster and easier. Well, to what Russ was talking about earlier about getting these listings sold, I always try to share my favorite dialogue that I have with sellers, and I always have drop it like it's hot Monday mornings. So every Monday at 11 a.m., I know I'm going to start calling all of my sellers to work my price adjustments. I never use the word reduction, never use the word decrease. It's always just an adjustment to adjust the price to where the market needs to be. And so I love his conversation there because I think it's something that we are not talking about enough, is the art of consulting our clients to get price adjustments. So since he mentioned that, my favorite dialogue, I break it into 3 simple questions. I call up every seller every single week. And at one point I was carrying about 65 active listings at one point myself personally. And I would have this conversation and I would say, look, good morning, here's the feedback, here's where we're at. We have a couple of options. We have first option, number 1, we can continue to hope and pray this week and see what happens. Option number 2, we can increase the value of your property so that we can attract more buyers to the home. So we can remodel the kitchen, we can update the exterior, we can pave the road, we can do whatever's necessary to add more value because the current value is not attracting enough buyers to the property right now. Or number 3, we can adjust the price so that we can open ourselves up to a larger set of buyers so we can get you an offer and get you sold so you can get to where you want to be in Arkansas with your grandma. So Susie, John, what would you like to do today? And that's the simple conversation every single Monday over and over and over. And they only are going to pick one of those 3 options every single time. And we have a whole script book with the rest of how you do the rest of the options. But if they go, we want to remodel it, there's a whole dialogue that you have and say, here's my concern. If they want to hope and pray, there's a whole dialogue, here's my concern. If they want to adjust the price, yay, let's go, right? Let's make it happen. So I just wanted to share that. I hope that helps in getting your price adjustments because, as Russ was saying, every new price adjustment is a brand new listing. So it's like you just took a new listing, nothing gets me. I get happier about getting price adjustments than I do getting new listings, to be quite honest with you, because I know I'm that much closer to getting, especially in your market, $19,000 wonderful dollars on average, which is amazing. So, all right, let's jump in. The reason Russ was so kind to let me come and speak today is I want to talk to you about what I have been working on for the last 2.5 years. It feels like the last 20 years of my life, which is what we call the magnetic blueprint. And we've been studying the art of online AI-driven listing lead world for a long, long time. And today I'm going to take you through that concept. I'm going to help you understand how you can simply do it, and we'll have some fun with it. So I think I can share, Russ. Is that possible? Hopefully, give me sharing capacity. Yeah,
share.
I'm good to go. Okay. So if you can see the slide here, so how to get listing leads online 24/7. When I say 24/7, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, without you having to do outbound prospecting or lead genning, meaning cold calling, door knocking, sitting empty open houses. And I'm not saying all empty houses are open houses are fine. And then the real mission that I had is, for many of you that know me, I owned a large real estate team. In fact, had one of the largest real estate teams in the country. And we were part of a Zillow Flex team. I produced leads through my lead funnels for my agents. And the reason I decided this past year to close my team down is I got really out of touch with what I enjoyed doing, which was helping individuals build their own individual business. And I felt like I was ripping off everybody. Zillow was ripping me off. I was ripping off my agents. It was an endless cycle that I felt that was just unnecessary when I knew that there was a simple way to produce listing leads and buyer leads, but I love listings. You can use this funnel for buyer leads as well, where I knew there was an easier way to do this. And the technology has gone so far advanced in just the last year that now it's possible for everyone to do this without having to be a coder, more or less. So I'm going to take you through what that looks like today. Now, as we get into this, I want to make sure that we're really clear that you're not the problem. Some of us get really upset with our lead generation, and it's like, well, I have inconsistent lead generation. I'm not consistent with my phone calls. I'm not doing enough. I carried that same guilt. I felt like I was always feeling like if I wasn't lead generating, I was letting myself down. I was letting my family down. I was letting my philanthropic organizations down. And it took a toll. You're always going, if I don't kick this on, the next step, I'm not going to get paid. I'm not going to eat. So I want to make sure everyone's aware that it doesn't have to be that way. Number one, you can do this with a clear plan and the right strategy and the right guide. You don't have to pay for tons of leads and tons of online marketing platforms. And you certainly don't have to rent your business from someone else. And I'm going to say that quite a bit. When we're working with Zillow, when we're working with Realtor.com, when we're working with these other companies, they're doing an AI listing lead funnel. They're just giving it to you at the bottom of the food chain, and you're paying a referral fee, a massive one at times, or an upfront lead fee, or a team fee of some sort, or some fee along the way, because you either don't understand or don't want to be the owner of your own business. And my goal is to have you be the owner of your lead generation funnel, be the owner of your business. And so that's what my passion is. So in looking at that, today, I'm going to give you a gift at the end of this session. So hopefully it'll bring some value to you. So today I have two goals. In the chatbot, I would love to just see, are you a techie agent? Like, do you think you're super techie? So if you're techie and you go, I love tech, I love AI, I geek out on this stuff, just put tech in the chat box. I just want to kind of get a feel for the group. And I know there's people live in the audience, so I can't see everyone. For those that are live in the audience, I can see you. Hello, Mark Wilcoxon. Just raise your hand if you're techie or not. Perfect. So I'm assuming either they're frozen or they're not moving. Nope, they moved. Okay. There we go. Oh, we can see you now. So neither of you are techie. Well, that makes this even more fun. All right. So Will says not so much. Mike says semi-proficient tech. Thank you guys for playing along. And Chris loves the tech. Excellent. So two things today, non-techie and techie agents. I'm going to focus on both because both are going to have value here. For the non-techie agents, I'm going to show you a simple 6-part framework that's going to connect all these dots so that you can take away today and start generating online listing leads. Number two, for the tech-savvy agents, I'm going to not only show you some really, really cool tech stuff, but make sure that you understand that you could have the best tech on earth, but if your offer and your message isn't correct, it's not going to matter. So both are critically important. The tech, the offer, and the messaging all have to be aligned. So there we go. All right, so the next piece, to unlock unlimited leads, right? We have looked at this and studied this from the top agents, and we found that there was a simple 6-part framework. And day one, you're not going to be perfect at this framework. I wasn't either. It wasn't easy, but there is a simple paint by numbers way of completing this. For those that I haven't got to meet, I started in real estate at age 24. That was a long, long time ago. I have actually now in my 22nd year of real estate. During my career, in my second year, I was one of the top 100 agents in the entire state of Florida. I've individually sold over 100 plus homes myself personally for over 10 years straight, meaning with just me and several assistants. And then I obviously have had a large real estate team for several years, and we've consistently been in the top 1, 2, 3 of the state and or the national rankings. So now I get to help others trace those steps and do the same thing. And so I have a company called Listing Beast, and all we do is we help agents become fantastic listing agents by increasing their per deal compensation with their percentage of commission, by increasing their average sales price. So the goal is always to work less and make more. And that's what I get to do now. But it wasn't always that way. When I started out, I like to call it the profitable nightmare. I prospected 4 hours a day, every single day. I would start at 6:45 in the morning. I was in, for some of the more senior veteran people, I don't mean senior as in old, I mean senior as in been in real estate a long time. I was personally coached by Mike Ferry, not Tom Ferry. And the regiment was wake up, call, call, call. When you're tired of calling, shut up and call more. And I did that year after year, and it was extremely profitable. It was also extremely depressing. And it is a hard, hard lifestyle to live in that way. I would work 6 to 7 days, but I was making a lot of money and I was having a lot of success. And there's a lot of power in that. So I'm not sitting here today saying you're never going to have to make an outbound phone call again. I'm not sitting here saying you're never going to have to do certain things that are not prospecting or lead generating based. What I'd like to do is flip it onto its other head and have 90% of your business attracted to you, and maybe only a few times where you have to outbound call and talk to people cold if necessary. So what was really frustrating is I kept searching for other answers, and I go, is this really the only way? Like, is this the only way to do real estate? And I would get yelled at, whether it was my managing broker, no offense, managing brokers, mine was crazy Mike Ferry fan, whether it was team leaders, whether it was everything I watched on YouTube. It was just seemed like everyone was going, shut up, make phone calls, suck it up, or you're never going to have success. And so I did that. I did it for a long time, did it for years, and they weren't wrong. I had a lot of success, but the life, as I said, was miserable. So one day I previously was at a different brokerage, and I walked into the office. It was 6:45 in the morning. I remember it perfectly clear. It was cold, freezing outside. At that time, just to put it in perspective, I wore a 3-piece suit. I was super cheesy, even more than I am now. And I came in and I had this regimental mind where I'd come in, I'd call expires for sell by owners, and that was the grind. This particular morning, I could hear through the shared office wall in the building that I was in. One of the top agents in the office had moved offices right next to me. And I started hearing her make the same calls to expireds and for sale by owners through this wall. And the thing that hit me like a brick that day was she was 67 years old. So she was there at 6:45 in the morning, making expired, for sell by owner, rent by owner calls, getting hung up on. And I don't know what happened in that moment, but I had a panic attack. I had an anxiety attack. And I said to myself, is this going to be me? Is this what I'm going to be doing when I'm, in my prime when I'm 67? And I got scared. I got panicked. So I started to think through and I go, I got to change this. I got to figure out a better way to do this. So this is me with hair in this illustration when I started this conquest of studying. So I went and did what I've always done is I've dug deep and I dug deep into research. So I went and I became obsessed with online lead generation, not only in real estate industry, but how Fortune 500 companies were putting all this together. I studied every company from Salesforce to HubSpot to Nike to any company that was generating leads, business, and sales online. Then I went and studied the top agents across the country from all companies. Then I studied the top brokerages to see how they were doing it. And then where I learned the most, and I hate to say this, I learned the most from Zillow and Realtor.com and these other massive lead or companies that attract leads digitally and then sell them back to us. And I kept thinking about it because I was, at the time, I would buy leads just like everyone else. I'd give them to my team. I would do this, I would do that. And I just felt like a cog in this wheel, but I wasn't actually in control of my business. So as I studied them, I realized there was these patterns that all of them were doing. And love it or hate it, these patterns worked extremely well. So I said, well, if they can do it, then I should be able to do it. I should be able to duplicate those patterns. And if I can do it, I can teach others to duplicate those patterns. And that was the birth of the magnetic blueprint. I didn't know that's what it was called at the time. I just started this 6-part framework that I had studied from everyone else. And then later it would become a book. So here's the magnetic blueprint. And I really want to take some time here to make sure that you really understand this 6-part framework, because you can use this framework not only for listings, you can use it for buyer leads just the same. You can use it for recruiting and attracting agents to your team or organization. The same thing I did to grow our Elite Home Partners started with 9 people. We went to 147 agents in less than 12 months. I use this exact same framework to grow it. So in the blueprint, it's 6 key parts. Number 1, an irresistible offer. You want to have an offer that is so powerful and fantastic that people feel stupid saying no to it. So just think about that right now. Is your listing presentation and your listing package so good, so powerful that people would feel stupid saying no to it? The second thing I want you to think about with your irresistible listing package, if it is so good and so fantastic, how many times have you marketed it online in the last 7 days to the public? So how many times have you marketed your listing package? Remember, some of you still think you sell yourselves. You are not the product. You sell a package of services, either listing services or buyer services. But somewhere a lot of us got into our head going, people get me, I'm Cindy, and they love me. No one cares about you. They care about the service you provide. And once you understand that, you'll start looking at how you do this a lot differently and go, this is my product. If I have the best overall product and I promote that product like any other small business does, or hopefully one day you'll become a large business, then I will have the most success. So just think about that. How many times have you marketed your listing package or program of services in the last 7 days? Okay. Number 2, once we have that beautiful package, we have to put it on a storefront so it can sell 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. That's what we call a listing landing page. We have to, and there's a very specific way that it needs to be set up. And I'll show you all, I can't show you all of it today, but it's all in the book and you can talk about all that fun stuff. But there's a very specific way. Some of you don't even have your own website. That's a problem. Some of you have a website, but it's what we call a vanity website. It's pretty, it looks cool, you put sweet videos on it. And I always ask people, how many leads did your website produce in the last 7 days? And they're like, well, what do you mean by a lead, Brendan? What does that mean exactly? I go, a lead, someone that wants to do business with you. How many times have you produced a lead in the last 7 days from your landing page? That's the difference. A landing page produces leads, a website produces vanity. It's a nice home place to say, here's who I am and here's what I believe in. So we have to have a landing page to sell our buyer services or listing services. I prefer listing. Or you can have a landing page that sells your investor services or your rental services or whatever it is that you're trying to attract. Number 3, lead magnets. So I want you to think about lead magnets in the aspect of free samples, okay? So when you're at Costco and you're walking around and somebody has that little toothpick with that sausage on it and they go, you want to try our new sausage? It's delicious. That's a lead magnet. They're giving you a little taste, a little sample, a little piece of value. So hopefully you buy the whole package of sausage. I don't know if sausage is the right analogy, but it's what I think about, right? Bacon, maybe it's bacon, that's better, bacon, right? So that's the lead magnet. How many lead magnets are you providing to your audience? Items of value every single week to attract them to your product so that they can buy it. Example of a lead magnet could be checklist, it could be videos, it could be market stats, it could be anything of value that a homeowner would find valuable, okay? Here's what isn't a lead magnet. I'm inviting you to my night at the zoo. Some of us think that's a lead magnet. That's about you, and they know that. They know that that's about you. They don't get necessarily value at night at the zoo. They go, I guess I'll go to night at the zoo. That's still not, I'm not saying it's a bad thing to have, but that's not a lead magnet. We want to exchange value in consideration for contact information that leads to a lead that's going to lead to a sale. And then we've got number 4, which I'll go back here and share. I just wanted to, I get excited about the old lead magnets if you can't tell. Number 4, promote. Now that we have our wonderful sales, 24-hour-a-day sales store, our landing page, now that we have delicious nuggets to hand out to the world, how are we promoting them? And are we using the technology that is there? I want you to think about this right now. In Facebook, you can take your current contact list, right? Your current, everybody in your database, and you can put them into Facebook in what you call a custom audience. Every email, every address, and you can put your message in front of your database on Facebook 24 hours a day, 7 days a week for like a nickel. Like, it is ridiculously inexpensive. You can put your message in front of an entirely new audience for $5 a day. So the reason why we don't do this, it's very intimidating if there's not a paint by numbers process. And I think the tech has gotten so far along that that paint by numbers is now here more like it's ever been before. And Russ, I apologize. I want to make sure I know. How much time do I have?
We end at 10.
Perfect. Thank you. Just wanted to make sure. I didn't know if there was someone else after me. I'm like, I'm just going to keep going and hopefully they'll cut me off. Thank you. Okay. I thought it was 10. I just want to make sure. So think about this. Here's the other problem that I think about with promotion. Some of us think that posting an under contract or a just listed is promotion. Think about that. That would be like, you've seen the memes. That would be like me being a plumber, unclogging a toilet and taking a picture of me unclogging the toilet and posting it online and going, I did my job. Ta-da! That's your job. That's the outcome of your job. It is not what your services are and the story of what you needed to do to make that sale happen. So give it some thought and think through why, when you see other marketing companies, like your insurance, I think about this all the time, like your insurance rep, they're not like, just sold another life insurance policy, right? Like you never see it. But for some reason, our industry has gotten so lazy that they think that's the only thing we can promote. Okay? So we want to create an amazing offer. We want to create an amazing place to sell it. We want to give out free samples to attract people to our store. And we want to promote it to everyone all the time. Now, you can also promote it with direct mail. You can also promote it with prospecting if you want. That just enhances the experience. But it doesn't work 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. That's the secret. When you're sleeping, when you're on the beach in Cancun, or I don't know, I don't think Cancun's a thing anymore. Maybe it is, I don't know, right? But your lead machine is working while you're not there. Okay, that's the whole goal here. Number 5, and this is massive. Me and Russ were just talking about this with all the other leadership across the region. Our company is making a massive investment in data. Data is the power of, in our business, being able to take targeted list information. So I was just down in Dallas at the CoreLogic headquarters with Jason Abrams, Chris, our new CEO. The data that Keller Williams is bringing is going to blow your mind. In fact, I'm so scared about the data, like I feel like I have to look around and make sure they're not actually tracking me. Like it is so powerful and so valuable. But as that rolls out, and they are rolling out, we're doing a lot of tests with it. There's 1,000 agents that are currently in the test group trying to do all these things to bring it to everybody to make sure that it's bulletproof when you receive it. Even now you have data. You have expired list for sell by owner list. You have geo-targeted farming list. And then the best data, your own database. It's in the name, your database. So are you pouring your database into a funnel and keeping your message in front of them 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, all right? And then lastly, None of this would matter if you don't have a very robust nurture and convert system. We know that nobody's going to usually do business today. It takes time to build a relationship. And please write this number down. The average consumer needs to consume 2 hours and 6 minutes of your content to feel like they remotely trust you. 2 hours and 6 minutes of digesting your content. That could mean free checklist, videos, guides, YouTube channel, market stats. But some of us just go, I've got them on a market, on what is the command one? Market snapshot. I've got them on a market snapshot. I mean, I'm giving them enough value. Market snapshot is the equivalent. It's a great thing. You should do it, of course, but it's the equivalent of going, I just put you on an automated thing because I'm lazy and I don't really care about you. It's a nice piece. It's an addition. You should definitely do it, but the end user understands that there's nothing special to them about that data, right? It's just an automated piece. You're another cog in the machine. So our goal is to make data and information and value feel special and custom. And with AI, we've never in the history of our world been able to do it at a faster pace than now, okay? So what happened in this transformation is I went from a cold calling, mic fairy, ears bleeding. I mean, people used to, remember the old Bluetooths that were like this big and like, they were kind of like, they looked like an arrow. I was that guy at dinner with that in my ear. Like I was that guy. I would leave a dinner to go take I'm obsessed. And so I had a nervous breakdown. I'll be quite honest. It was a very, very clear nervous breakdown. And it led me to go, there has to be a way to go from hunter to hunted. And that framework gave me that ladder to get there. Now, the results that it provided me, it wasn't easy. There was a lot of pain and suffering along the way, a lot of things that didn't work. But I eventually was able to get to what my goal was, is I wanted to produce 1 listing lead a day. And I wanted to increase my conversion. Remember, when you're cold calling or door knocking, and I know in your guys' area, maybe you're not doing as much of that as people in Aurora or wherever it is, which is why I think you'll love this system even more, because you don't even really, some of these neighborhoods you can't get access to, you can't go door knock, even the houses and the large things are owned by LLCs. It's hard to get the contact information. So in your areas, especially at the dollar amount that you're doing, this magnetic blueprint is even better because it's all about attracting, because you don't even have some of those prospecting resources available to you. But what I saw was conversion increased by 37% because I was building trust with people online before I met with them. Before I'd call them up and be like, I'm Brendan, I'm the best. Let me come over, I'm gonna sell your house. And I'd walk in like a fireball and I would just go hard and I'd be like, I'm not leaving until you list with me. And it worked for a variety of, or for a duration of time, but I was probably converting at 50% of my listing appointments because there was no relationship there to build up to me showing up at the appointment. It was just cold, hard, I'm here, let's go. And then I saved a ton of hours prospecting and being on the phone. I could pre-screen people at a higher level that I never could before. So here's 3 powerful secrets that I'm going to share with you in the next 6 minutes. Secret number 1, and you can screenshot this, I'll send this out to you. This is what you need to have an irresistible listing package. Not what I believe, what I studied and went through all these other agents. Your core services have to be better than everyone else's. You have to have bonuses, things that are unique to you that you offer versus or in a unique way compared to your competition. Guarantees. Every top agent, I don't care if it was luxury, resort, beach, mountain, all had a guarantee. Easy exit contract guarantee. Sell your house in 30 days or I'll buy it guarantee. There's a whole bunch of other ones, but having some sort of guarantee. And then the last one was trust boosters, case studies and proof that your company's program or your program and offering its services actually work. So when you have this, right, you go from being generic to irresistible. Some of us think it's all about finding the client, and then if we're good enough, they'll just list with us. Well, imagine if you had something so powerful that it attracted everyone to you. So when you're irresistible, you can help the seller sell for more money in less time with the least amount of hassle, and you show them your secret sauce. Instead of list with me, my name's Brendan, and I do photos, MLS listings, open houses, and I'll do a broker's open for you. There's no secret. Why? Then you're just like everyone else. And when you're like everyone else, what's the first thing that drops? Price, your commission, your value. You become a commodity, okay? So number 2 secret, it's so much more fun to promote your business when you have something great to sell. So when you have an irresistible listing package, you get to wake up every day and be like, world, I have the greatest service and package on earth, and everyone loves it because you have something exciting to talk about that actually solves problems, helps people, provides them this solution to their issues. So make sure that when you're thinking about this, it's not only about the digital piece of it, but creating an offer, and I have a step-by-step guide to show you how to do this to make it simple. And then secret number 3, it's never if, it's when. I have a complete mindset that it's not if you're going to sell with me, it's when you're going to sell with me. Period, end of story. So as you can see here, seller timeline. After they decide, it's usually 3 to 4 months before they actually make a decision to move forward. If they're reaching out to you, speed to lead wins. And then of course, persistence. We all know this stat, 2%, well maybe you don't, 2% of conversion comes on the first contact, 80% requires 5 to 12 follow-ups. And I think it's even more than that, to be quite honest. So we have to think about our plan and how we attack this. Now, oh, my button, there we go. So as I explained, the old way was brutal. And I'll be honest with you, you had to be a coder to build a digital funnel. You had to spend 10 to 15, probably more hours per weekend trying to sit there and grind this out, or pay a web developer. And I'm watching agents spend all this money on these vanity websites like, and no offense to any of these companies, Agent Fire, Agent Amazing, whatever these companies are called. And then I see them spend $6,000 on these sites and I go, how many leads did your site produce in the last 30 days? Oh, it's not really meant for that, Brendan. It's just so my clients think I look cool. That would be like me having a restaurant and not serving any food at it. It's just stupid. It doesn't make any sense. You have a business, your business is to produce leads, okay? So make sure you're thinking about it. So now with AI, weeks have turned into minutes, months have turned into hours. And you keep hearing this, the AI, Wild West, and it's evolving so fast right now that we have the ability to attract clients to us unlike we ever did before. So that's the blueprint. Just imagine, like I said, sellers calling you, no cold calling, no door knocking, more time with your family. So the door is open. It's here now. It was closed before for a very select few that were super dork geeks that love doing this kind of stuff. But that door is cracked open now. So I want to take a check. So by either show of hands or in the chat, are you excited about this? Does this get you excited? Like, are you going, hey, I'm excited? Or my next favorite slide, are you feeling a little overwhelmed, right? Is it the fire hose in the face? So in that beautiful audience where I can only see 4 of you, are you feeling overwhelmed or excited? Where is that, Russ, where the Mark Wilcoxon is?
That's Frisco.
Frisco, excited or overwhelmed? Let's do thumbs.
There
we go.
Both. We've got a great practices and definitely excited. We've got a yes, this is just what I've needed.
I love it.
Face.
I love it. Thank you. All right. Well, here's the deal. So what I've been doing and our team has been doing is creating an irresistible implementation package. You just heard me talk about an irresistible listing package. We said, how could we provide so much value to make this easy so you could start today? So we have our Listing Beast Mastery course. Our students have been paying us $4,500 for the last year and a half to be a part of that course. And in it is everything that I have studied, put together, and done to do those 3 things. Increase your per deal compensation, meaning your higher percentage rate per sale, increase your average sales price, and build online digital funnels. The next thing we did is we said, well, that's not enough. We need to have weekly live business clinics, as I have today in an hour, where we have weekly live business clinics so we can put these practices into action. The third thing is we said we have to hire a chief technology officer because we need to make sure at least once a week the people in our members have the ability to speak to a funnel dork. And he doesn't take offense when I call him that, right? But when we're talking about this, we're talking about these pieces are easy to paint the numbers on, but you still are going to want to talk to somebody that has the experience. This person worked for Zillow. They worked for Realtor.com. His name is Rohan. He is phenomenal. So we had to make sure he had geek hours. Well, then we also wanted to say we wanted to have a private community. So we wanted to have a community of listing beast agents all over the country that exchange referrals. We have people in Canada and now South Africa. And then this is the biggest advancement. What I've been spending the last year on is creating a software platform that could cut out all the noise and do funnels just for agents. And that might sound like it is, why doesn't that exist right now? Because it's really hard and it's really expensive. So just last week was our first release of now including all of our tech platform, which has every single piece to do everything we just talked about and more. And so we put all that in there. So I said, if I could package all this together, which my goal has always been because of where I came from, how could I get this to be, ingested for the lowest amount possible? So you see here, right, $22,000 in value. So quick question, right? Even if it was $22,000, which it's not, don't worry. Even if it was $22,000, if you got 6 additional listings from it, and I wish I was using your numbers in this presentation, right? I was just using 10K commission, that's 60K a year. Our average members are averaging additional 35 listings inside of our program. So that's 350K. And then I said, what if you could have 15 hours per week, 700 hours per week, 32 full days of your time back? Because it's not about money, it's about getting time back. And what would that be worth? And then the last thing, and I know I'm going to finish here in just 1 minute, then the increase in value, right? If you can increase your commission rate, so every one of our agents, their minimum list side commission, which we're allowed to talk about, is 3.5% or more on just the list side. Everyone, I don't care, luxury, resort, wherever it is, 3.5%. When you do those numbers, think about what your life changes to when you're at 3.5% minimum list side. So, end all, it's not 22 grand, it's not 11 grand. Because of our ability to bring all this down, it's not even 247, which is what it's offered on our website. Because of today and because of Russ, 197 a month. You get a 30-day money back guarantee, which means you get access to the course, everything. You think it sucks, you walk, I give you your money back, period. But I have the ability now to do this at scale to help so many others, which was my true passion. So you have this QR code, $50 off. Normally it's $247, it's $197. You'll get everything I just talked about in that entire package. There is a $500 setup fee because we inject all of our funnels into your software and preset it for you. So there's a startup fee of $500. But Beast 50 is that access code. The setup fee is refundable. Everything's refundable, 100% money back guarantee, 30 days, $50 off, but it expires at midnight. At midnight, it'll go back to $247 a month, which is still a great deal, but just to make you aware. So I hope you become a listing beast. I hope you understand the power of magnetic funnels. And even if you don't, if there's anything I can ever do, as you guys all know, you can always reach out to me and I'm always happy to help.
Thank you, Brendan. Appreciate it.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
All right, one last thing, everyone. Just let me get to my correct screen. Hold on. Stay tuned. Later this week, we are starting a pilot with a technology called BrokerBot. I think you all are going to love this. The pilot program, we're going to be asking some of you to help us test a program that is an AI assistant in real estate for all of us around broker questions, around coaching questions, around strategy questions. We're going to start with a small group of you. So respond to my email if you're interested, and then we will roll it out to everyone else. That's coming soon. Finally, next week, we're going to be interviewing Marissa Lindsay on the lift about creating social media communities. The following week, Andy Hannigan's going to be talking about using AI to sell more listings. And then if you were at the Rocky Mountain Summit last week or a couple weeks ago. You know, Allie Flanagan Napier talked about AI and she went way too fast. She's slowing it down so that we can get a little bite-sized chunk. Thank you all. See you soon. Take care, everybody. Thank you, Brendan.